What's happening, guys? UFC 282 this weekend. Not a bad card. Obviously, we lost the original main event in Yuri and Glover, which would have been an interesting rematch. But now we've got, Jan and Ankalaev, which is still going to be an interesting fight. But yeah, unfortunate situation for Yuri. Obviously, getting that injured shoulder, supposedly pretty bad one, and having to miss out. Very unfortunate for him, but what a solid dude to actually just vacate the belt like he did. Not like, want to hang on to it and get the interim. He's like, oh, we'll vacate it, let him fight for it and do, make it a legit one. And then you had the Glover not really wanting the Ankalaev fight straight away. He's like, oh, I need more time. Which is interesting, to be honest. Like, obviously needs more time for that matchup. Ankalaev's no joke, I get it. But Glover's not a young dude, right? So him wanting more time, this isn't having a shot, but time's not really on his side in a sense. So for him to do that and be like, look, I'll have some time and I'll take on the guy, which I think is going to be hard, right? I think he can fight for that title before Yuri comes back, because that shoulder injury is pretty bad. So I think he's still going to be next anyway. Obviously, it's a tricky one. That's a tricky situation. But I think because Yuri's supposedly going to be out for like a whole year, so I think he's going to get that shot pretty soon anyway, mid-year, next year or something like that. So it's going to happen. He just wants that extra time. So good on him for being professional like that and knowing that Ankalaev's no joke. So let's get into that main event.
Look at the end. Oh my goodness.
A legendary Polish power again.
And let's talk about Ankalaev and Jan. Obviously, both veterans, both been around, both reasonably well-rounded as well. Both can wrestle, both got striking, both got power in their hands. Obviously, Jan's proved that with some big knockouts. Ankalaev, his striker, did just a little bit of tape on him, and yeah, he's pretty defensively sound. He has got some KOs himself, but he's pretty defensively sound. Like when he's thrown, he loves I wouldn't call it a check hook. He loves obviously him being southpaw. When people are trying to circle outside him, they try and jab their way out. He likes to sort of just, run him into that check hook as soon as they attack.
Oh, unconscious!
But with someone like Jan, who's proved that he can work a game plan. You've seen even with like Ilia, he knew that he had to be safe and he worked the game plan, did things. He can fight safe. He knows how to catch people. He can set up some cool combos and catch people. So he could capitalize on that. I think maybe, baiting a jab and like obviously being ready for a check hook, but watching where he's going to dip, because it seems to be a very common sort of counter for Ankalaev every time. Almost like with some of the footage I watched, almost every time someone will come, even just throw a jab as they're trying to step outside, he'll just try and run him into like a hook as he dipped. So he even has his hands up. He's defensively sound as he's doing that, but I still feel like there's an opportunity there if it's done well. You know what I mean? Obviously, just got to be wary of that check hook. But yeah, so you got to see. Had someone looking at the car. I don't know if they thought no one was in here and they were going to try and break into the car while I was over here. So sorry about that.
Finish him.
I had to give him the staunch look, like don't you try that. I think it was 18-1 for Ankalaev, so losing only once in a career like that, he's no joke. So he's a good fighter. He can get the finish. He can even wrestle. So I feel like I don't think anyone can really capitalize on the wrestling. I feel like they're both good enough. Obviously, Glover showed that he can control Jan, but I just don't know if that control, Ankalaev is going to have that control on Jan. So I feel like it might be more of a stand-up battle. So whether we get a knockout on the feet, we will see. Who would I lean towards? I'd lean towards Ankalaev. I think he's proved himself, and again, a record like that. Yeah, again, he is pretty defensively sound. But Jan, again, he's someone that can catch him. He's got power in his hands, so if he has the right setups and capitalize on habits that Ankalaev does, he can maybe capitalize on that.
But clearly the Benjamini corner.
Oh! You almost got knocked out. You got caught with a beautiful left hook.
What am I saying, lad? I'm a Scouser. We don't get knocked out. Hey, I take that all day.
Co-main event, Paddy Pimblett, Jared Gordon. There's a lot of hype on him. There's a lot of people talking about him. You see this, and again, I've got nothing against both guys. I like Jared Gordon, but I don't mind seeing guys like Paddy do well. Especially when there's so much hype, and he's bringing a lot of eyes to the sport, and got a lot of respect for that. So he's still young too, right? He's still young. I respect him in the fact that, you know, he doesn't want to rush into the biggest challenges straight away. He's still young, he's still learning, earning his way, earning his money, building that hype up at the same time. I think he's doing it right, so good on him. I feel like this is a bit of a step up in competition too. I don't feel like Jared Gordon is a walkover at all. Obviously, he's got some jiu-jitsu, and he's not that bad on the feet either. So it's going to be interesting. You know, it will be an interesting fight. Whether we'll see some pretty good scrambles on the mat, we'll see. Obviously, Paddy Pimblett's pretty dangerous on the ground. You know, he knows how to find submissions. He's pretty crafty like that. Not that it means so much, but I mean, you know, when you've got when you've trained under guys like, you know, your Danaher squad and all that, you train with a lot of guys. There's going to be a lot of crafty guys throwing things at you, so you're going to be a little aware of that type of stuff. So you're going to know how to move on the ground. So you got to give Jared that respect on there. So you know, I think on the floor he's going to be okay. So it'll be interesting. It'll be an interesting fight. I feel like if I had to lean towards someone. Again, I think I want Paddy Pimblett to win. Just again, I think it's good for the sport. Build that hype even more. So, you know, again, he's young and that, like, build him up and each challenge at a time. Who would I lean? I feel like it's probably a 50-50 one. Who would I lean to? Right now, I feel like I'm leaning more towards Jared Gordon. But I'm going to go Paddy Pimblett. The story's there, the hype, the timing. I think he's going to find a way and get it done. So I'm going to go to Paddy Pimblett. It's probably not how you should bet or anything like that, but sometimes, you know, you sit there and say, it's just meant to be. I feel like with Paddy Pimblett, it's just meant to be.
Everyone and anyone, I don't care. I'm not scared of anyone. They're all getting it.
Anyway, let's go down. Darren Till, Dricus. Man, Darren Till's good. He is good. He's can be hit and miss. I feel like Darren Till will capitalise on this. I watched a bit of tape on the Dricus, and he's can be a little bit aggressive. He can overcommit. Darren Till, he's like got some good Muay Thai. I do believe sometimes he does keep that chin up there a little bit. Some people can capitalise it. I don't think Dricus will. I think Dricus is going to put himself in more vulnerable positions. And again, Darren Till's got some tidy hands and he can capitalise on that. Come in aggressive like that. Darren Till's had some Wonder Boy, some big wins. Obviously, you've seen Wonder Boy still has it, and that was a while ago. You know, just little things like that. So, obviously, Darren Till's high level, and I think a better striker. He's definitely a better striker than Dricus, I believe. So, I'm going to lean towards Darren Till.
I want to thank Arkansas. Y'all know I love Arkansas.
Bryce Mitchell and Ilia, Topuria. Who am I going to lean towards in that one? That's a tricky one. Obviously, Ilia's proven himself. He's a very powerful dude, powerful hands as well. Obviously, his wrestling isn't ideal though, right? Bryce Mitchell's wrestling is going to be a lot better. He's going to have a pressure. He's going to try and look for the takedown. He's going to work for it a lot harder rather than just pull gun and go to his back and things like that and just chase legs and that. I feel like he's going to want to press on Topuria, grab him and get him down. So that's going to be interesting. But I think Topuria's going to be a little bit too powerful and too dangerous on the feet. You know, if I had to lean towards someone, I'd probably have to lean towards Topuria. I think Topuria might get a knockout. Bryce Mitchell, again, he's surprised me with a couple of his fights. And his control on Edson Barboza, that was pretty incredible. So he was able to just control him and then sort of have his way with him. And he was still safe on the feet as well. But I feel like Topuria's going to be a bit more aggressive. And he's going to go forward and, you know, in the pocket, he'll throw some big bombs. And, you know, when you're pressing for the takedown and all that, you're going to be going into fire. Obviously, you are with Edson Barboza as well, right? Edson Barboza's been knocking people out for years. So what am I talking about? But if I had to lean towards someone, I'm going to probably lean towards Topuria on that one. It's going to be an interesting one. Bryce Mitchell, he surprises me. I think if he can control Topuria, then, you know, his pressure control would be definitely something to keep an eye on. I know he's called me out a few times, but come on, mate. You ain't holding me down. You know that, Bryce. Stop calling me out, mate.
Told y'all I want some camo shorts.
That's my take on UFC 282. Definitely going to still be worth a watch. Thank yous, love yous. Till the next one. See yous later.